All right, so bear with me for this one because I'm probably going to be all over the place, but I got to get this off my chest. And let me start with this. The games I'm going to be talking about, I don't think they're going to be bad games, or if they already released, I don't think they're bad games. They're probably going to be good to great games. But I cannot stand how much people overhype things just because they are put into the spotlight, and how thirsty people are for actual good narrative-driven games, or games that aren't just like modern live service mediocre slop. And people think that just because these games are put into the spotlight from PlayStation's State-of-Play showcases or Xbox showcases, that it automatically makes them good to great games if they're AAA games. And the standard for these games has just gone down because of the introduction and popularity of live service games. And obviously, the straw that broke the camel's back is the latest PlayStation State of Play showcase. And like I said, a lot of the games that were shown there, they look like pretty good games. Like the new God of War game looks sick. The combat looks super cinematic, but also really sick. And I can't wait to play a God of War game with a different aesthetic. I never played an Onimusha game, but the new one looks sick as hell. And I can't wait to finally play it when it releases. And that horror looking first person action game looks out of this world insane. Like that is the type of game that needs to be at these PlayStation showcases, or just in general these showcases. Like that's the kind of stuff that gets me hyped up and excited for the games that are going to be releasing in the future. Even though I'm anticipating these games and now I'm seeing them for the first time, I'm like, these games look incredible. Like just from the vertical slice that we've seen, they look insane. This is still the vertical slice. Like these trailers and these showcases, they're meant to put their best foot forward. Like, have we not learned in the past with Watch Dogs and the downgrade? I understand it's Ubisoft, but with the downgrades from what's shown in the trailers compared to what happens at launch. The same goes with Techland and Dying Light 2, right? Like this happens time and time again. And you can say that the trailer looks really good, a gameplay showcase with a little snippet looks incredible. But until I see a fully uncut, unedited, like 15-minute segment basically of actual gameplay and footage of the game, I would not like be overly optimistic or super hyped until I see something like that happen. Kind of like what happened with Crimson Desert. I mean, just fully uncut gameplay showing exactly what the game is and what it's actually like to play the game. But then I go online and it's completely opposite from how I operate. Like I see people being like, oh my God, like Wolverine, game of the year already. Like because we've seen 5 minutes of carefully edited and cut footage of the combat. Like what? To me, I'm sorry, I'm going to be kind of a hater on Wolverine because I feel like Insomniac's game design and their combat design has not really changed since Spider-Man 2018. I platinumed that game and then I borrowed a friend's account to play the first like 3 or 4 hours of Spider-Man 2. And outside of that big set piece fight with Sandman, like it was literally the exact same game. Like it could have been a DLC to Spider-Man 2018. I'm not going to change that opinion. And people are seeing this Wolverine game. I'll give you that it has cranked the gore. Obviously, the gore looks cranked and it looks insane. I hope they have some really sick dismemberment, like, you know, like gore system and stuff like that. But in terms of like how the combat looks, like I remember from the footage, I saw whenever he did a little slash attack and then I guess he did a little dodge backwards or something like that. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. It basically looked identical to the last 2 Spider-Man games. And yeah, I'm not saying they have to change animations and they have to completely do away with, you know, their engine or their tools that they use for past games. I completely understand that. I'm not saying that it has to be totally different, but I am saying that these games, a lot of them will feel the same or sort of look the same, and people will just see these big cinematic trailers and basically come to the conclusion of, oh, I'm pre-ordering right away and this is going to be game of the year. And it mainly happens with a lot of these PlayStation games in that the PlayStation State of Play showcase, because people expect so much from them and they've gotten the lack of a lot of these really heavy narrative single player games that they're sort of compensating from the oversaturation of live service games coming from PlayStation by overhyping these games like there's something revolutionary. They look like good games, I'll give you that. Like the new God of War, the combat looks so smooth, it looks so, like it just looks so fluid. But we've not seen actual uncut gameplay footage of it. So don't go out there saying that it's going to be a game of the year when it comes out 2027 or 2028. Like I've seen people do this over and over and over again. Like they don't get it in their head. They get hyped up for stuff, and then the game comes out it doesn't live up to their unrealistic expectations of hype and what the game is going to be. And then they get disappointed and it's the developer's fault for some reason. Like, I don't understand. Me, I'm just trying to manage expectations. As small as a guy I am, wherever I go on social media, I like to like spread like neutrality or at least a dose of moderate skepticism. Like recently, I've been looking back over the past like 5 to 7 years and I'm like, is it me? Like, am I turning cynical or am I still like fairly just moderately skeptical? And I feel like I am still just mostly skeptical. Like people, they don't have any way to manage their expectations or emotions when it comes to a game's release trailer or gameplay trailer or whatever. Like I'll start with games like Dragon Age: The Veilguard. People were expecting a lot from a new Dragon Age game. And just because they showed a little, snippets here and there of gameplay footage, people were like, oh, Dragon Age is back. How did that turn out? The same can go for Payday 3. Trust me, I have a lot of experience with that one, given how this channel started. The same can also be said for Callisto Protocol. I remember seeing it everywhere for like 3 weeks. I couldn't avoid it. Now no one talks about the game and it barely sold at all, right? But it was like the hottest thing of all time for like 3 weeks. Also, the same can be said for Alan Wake 2. I played some Alan Wake 1. I was like, okay, I'm good. This isn't for me. But I remember I couldn't avoid going on the internet and being told how good Alan Wake 2 was, how it was just so good and it deserved Game of the Year. And I'm like, okay, cool, but why does no one play it? Like, why did no one buy it? Why did it take almost a year for the game to start turning a profit? Right? Like, why are we hyping stuff up so much when it's clear that most people are actually just going to find it disappointing because it doesn't live up to their expectations? I don't understand it. And actually, I want to touch on that other bit about how games will be the hottest thing and it's the best thing of all time, Game of the Year, for like 3 weeks. And then it just falls off a cliff. No one ever talks about it again. So like for this year, it'll obviously be Resident Evil Requiem. That was like, I couldn't go on the internet without people telling me how good the game is and how I need to play it right away, right now. You need to play Resident Evil Requiem right now. I was like, no, I'll play it when I'm ready to play it. And now guess what? No one talks about that game. No one at all. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad game. Obviously, I'm waiting to play the game. I'm not ready to play it right now. But I've been told how this is one of the best Resident Evil games of all time. Okay, if this is one of the best Resident Evil games of all time, why do people start talking about it after 2 weeks? And when you contrast something like that with like the recent news that The Witcher 3 is going to be getting another DLC, another full expansion coming in 2027, over a decade, over a dozen years after the game's release. Do you understand how crazy that is? Right? A game like The Witcher 3 is still constantly in the public discourse in terms of gaming. Same can be said for games like, I don't know, Red Dead Redemption 2 or, I don't know, like The Last of Us Part 2 or Part 1. And these are games that are constantly in the gaming discourse and they constantly dominate it. People are constantly talking about it, constantly making videos on it. And when you compare something like that with other really good games that came out not even a year or so ago, like Claire's Pure Expedition 33 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And you can even contrast that with something like Starfield. Like Starfield gets another video made on it or another video essay like every 2 or 3 days. And it's got 100,000 views per video. But I haven't seen one Expedition 33 video in the last like 5 months. And I haven't seen one Kingdom Come Deliverance video since then as well. Again, let's back up. I'm not saying that these games are bad. I'm going to wait to play these games whenever I'm ready to play them. Like, I'm going to wait to play Clair Obscur Expedition 33 until I'm ready to play it. No one's going to force me to play these games. I already got them in my library ready to go. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people being like, you got to play this right now. You got to talk about this right now. You got to be in the discourse and we're talking about this game and it's going to be out of style in 2 weeks. Who cares, man? Like, we need to stop hyping these games up because we see them on trailers and it's going to be the biggest thing when it comes out. It's going to be Game of the Year, one of the best games this team has ever made for all of 2 days. I'm seeing people saying Wolverine is going to be the Game of the Year this year when the same thing is probably going to happen with this game like it did with Spider-Man 2. Like, the game is just going to have a good reception, right? Probably like an 85 on Metacritic, 8.3 user score or something like that. And people are going to like it, but then it's going to trail off after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. No one's going to talk about it again and all that hype about, oh, it's the Game of the Year and blah blah blah. But then you'll probably have these other games that are just going to come out of nowhere. Like, every single time it happens like clockwork. There's one game that comes out of absolutely nowhere. As a matter of fact, since we're talking about it, Clockwork Revolution, I have a feeling like that's going to be the game that's going to come out of nowhere next year and people are going to be like, whoa, like, we really need to look to this game as being the next Game of the Year contender that just came out of nowhere. And it happens over and over and over again. Like, it's like on repeat. The games that don't get hyped up to the moon, that have minimal marketing, those games end up releasing, people play them and they're like, oh my God, like this is actually genuinely insane. How is no one talking about this? Word of mouth spreads. All of a sudden we have a hidden gem out of nowhere. And meanwhile over here we have this little cinematic little AAA game, half cutscenes, half gameplay. It's the best game of all time. Oh, never mind. I'm actually gonna go play the game that's actually really good and actually does push the genre forward in whatever it's doing. Like, I don't know why, it's just, this actually does get under my skin. It's not one of those things where I'm just like, oh, whatever, that's people just talking. People want to be excited for games, which is fine. I understand that. But then to go over the moon and just to be like the loudest people on the internet talking about how this is game of the year and if you disagree with me, you're just wrong. Nah, I'm not doing that no more. I'm actually going to give the games that need the attention, that are sort of flown under the radar, but look like they have something really special there that people aren't noticing. I'm going to start giving those games the attention and let everyone else just fall over the scraps that PlayStation get them. Oh, here's the same rinse and repeat single player game over and over and over again. Here you go. Since we haven't released one because we keep trying these live service games that never work, here's one every 4 years. It annoys me. I don't know why it annoys me so much. But I'm just so tired of people seeing one little cinematic trailer of a game with a little bit of snippets here and there of gameplay and thinking all of a sudden, oh, we've come to be saved. Here's the next big thing, when it's really not. It's just, again, they're okay games, they're good games, they're even great games, but they're not the next big thing. But people keep acting like it's saying this the game of the year and this, oh my God, a masterpiece is coming. It's not. But anyways, what do y'all think about the latest State of Play showcase? Like I said, it looks like the best one we gotten in quite some time. It showed a lot of stuff that I would be, like half the stuff it showed I'm actually interested in. It usually doesn't work like that. I usually see one thing, I'm like, okay, I'll keep an eye on that. Like half the stuff there, it looks really good. But that doesn't just erase all the mistakes that Sony has made over the last 5 years for this generation. Like I'm not just gonna sweep that under the rug and start acting like, oh, we've been saved now. PlayStation are releasing good games again. Like these looks like some good games, but it's a first step. It's a first step to getting back on track and getting back to that PS4 era. I'm not just going to start praising and hyping everything up just because Sony has been dropping the ball recently so much. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got to talk about, and that's it for me. I'll see you next time.